Ever since Hermosi partnered with Sam Ovens to promote the Skool platform, it has been everywhere. It has blown up, specifically the Skool games. Everyone's talking about it. Hermosi's promoting the shit out of it. He's running ads. He's, making call to actions. He's doing everything. But how the fuck do you actually make money from Skool? Okay, do you do a low ticket community and run ads to it? Or do you, book calls and sell high ticket products and services? Like, how does it actually work? And what is the best way to hit six figures quickly in a short period of time with Skool? And that's exactly what I want to break down in this video. Okay, and so if you don't know what Skool is, I'm not going to talk about too much what exactly Skool is, because by now I'm assuming you already have a general idea of what it is. It's an online, community platform where you can basically create and grow your own community, host courses, events, whatever you want. It's basically a community platform where you can kind of centralize your business, just to put it like that. But the first thing I want to even break down before I even get into any of this stuff is Skool doesn't fucking matter. Okay, Skool, Discord, Facebook groups, fucking like Instagram channels, it's all the same shit. All that matters is if you have a personal brand and an audience. So who gives a fuck about Skool? It doesn't matter what platform you host. I mean, sure, there might be some differences between like the audience that you should host a Facebook group opposed to a Skool community, opposed to a Discord community. But that's all just little mechanisms and platforms and softwares. What really matters is your brand and your audience and how much trust and goodwill you have built with the market. That, and sorry if that like ruined the whole video for you, but that's all that matters, dude. Okay, so fuck Skool, fuck Discord, fuck all this shit. All that matters is your personal brand and your audience. But let's actually get into breaking some of this content down. So when it comes to deciding, should you run a free group to a low ticket community or, free to book a call, there's two things you got to look at, two main factors. The first one is your audience size, and the second one is your product. Okay, specifically how much it costs. Two main factors to look at when choosing your strategy is audience size and the product you're selling. Specifically the price of the product you're selling and who you're targeting with it. Someone who has a larger audience and is selling a low ticket product is going to play the game much differently than somebody with a high ticket product and a small audience. So you have to consider these two factors when deciding your strategy for getting people to purchase from you. Okay, because those two scenarios that I just listed out, drastic differences between the two. Okay, and another thing you have to understand is buying power in your audience. Average buying power and the total buying power, and there's a difference. And so how is the buying power distributed in your audience? Okay, and if you're creating valuable content for a specific group of people, then the average buying power will be much higher than somebody who's creating broad content for a large group of people. Okay, and so if you're creating, let's say you have a smaller audience, but you're creating specific valuable content to that small audience, okay, then on average each person is gonna probably have more money, because depending on what problem you're solving and who you're solving it for, you might have people who are going to trust you more and who are willing to spend more money with you. Okay, and so this is when you actually want to sell high ticket. When you have a lower quantity of people in your audience, but that lower quantity of people, each person has more money to spend with you. Okay, so it's a higher average buying power. Another way to think of this metric is dollar per subscriber. So if we're thinking about YouTube, which is kind of the main platform I'm going to be talking about, dollar per subscriber. Okay, if you're creating broad content, what you're shooting for is higher total buying power, not higher average buying power, but higher total buying power. And there's a difference. Okay, average is how much buying power each person in your audience has is willing to spend with you. Total buying power is how much your entire audience combined is willing to spend with you. Okay, and so if you're going mass market and you're creating broad content, then you want your overall audience to be willing to spend more money than the overall audience of the person who's creating specific content, because this first person's audience is going to be smaller overall. Okay, and in this instance, if you're creating broad content, then you want to sell low ticket, because when you're going mass market, you want to target as many people as possible with your product. So you got to sell a low ticket, Skool community or course or info product. Really depends on the strength of your brand. And to give you a specific scenario, a way you can think about it is, imagine this first person is somebody who's solving a specific problem. So solving client acquisition problems for agency owners, or running ads for local businesses, or stuff like that. So less people watching the video, but each person is going to be willing to spend more money with the content creator. In this instance, imagine it's like how to make money in your 20s, or how to get rich as a young male, stuff like that. Okay, so here's a graphic showing you exactly what I mean. And as you can see, the smaller the audience size, the more money that each average person is willing to spend. And maybe instead of audience size, I should have put the broad topic. So the less broad the topic is, the more narrow, the more narrow and specific the problem you're solving in your videos, meaning the more the person's going to resonate you on an individual level. Opposed to, the bigger your audience, the more people, the more diluted that buying power is going to be across your audience. Okay, and so that's just a principle you got to understand, and you're going to see how it's going to factor into, when it comes to your funnel and your Skool community and all that. And so the first funnel I want to break down is the free community to the low ticket community. Okay, and so how this works is we're not going to talk too much about how to drive traffic to your community. We're going to talk more about the nurturing and, the mechanisms of converting people in your community. But typically ads and content, paid and organic methods is typically what you're going to leverage to get people in your community. So you drive traffic, you generate leads, you get people to join your community. And it's pretty simple. You provide value. I'm not going to go too in depth on like cadence of when you should post and, what type of content. This is just a broader high level overview of think about how should you structure your business, what should you sell and who should you sell to, and how should you provide value to these people. And so you're providing value, and then what you're selling them on is a low ticket community. Okay. And who should leverage this low ticket community funnel? Okay, so the only time I recommend you start a low ticket community is when you have a large audience with lower average buying power. So the average buying power, or the buying power in total, is pretty much distributed evenly across your entire audience. Ideally, you want to have a very large audience, because just going low ticket as your main product isn't worth it. But maybe each person in your audience, you have like 300,000 people that are willing to spend $20, $30, $40 with you, but not everyone's willing to spend $2-3 grand with you. And so this is when you would go mass market, and you would get a product or a service or a community or something that most people would buy. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the worst type of audience to have is one that only watches you for pure entertainment. So this is why all the people that copy Mr. Beast majority of them are broke, because they only rely on money from AdSense, from making money from the revenue off ads. You can't sell anything to an audience that only watches you for entertainment, other than maybe like some clothes or like fucking some snacks. But, if you haven't provided value and you have no goodwill built with your audience, if you aren't an educator to the people watching your video and they don't like you because of what you teach them, then throw it all out the window. You don't have an audience. You have people that just want to see you do funny. You have a crowd for a circus is what you have. Okay. And so, there's kind of two different scenarios if you're running this funnel. First one is you have a very large audience, above 100K subscribers, I'd say. Like I said, mainly this is going to be around YouTube. I'd say a low ticket community as the main product wouldn't be bad, as long as that audience likes who you are and it's a high quality audience, not an audience based off of entertainment. Okay. And so, pricing it, whether it be from $30 to $200, that's something you'd have to test out. You want to find the sweet spot. But then you have a large audience. If you have an audience, let's say under 100,000 subscribers, then I would be iffy about running a pure low ticket funnel. Okay. The reason I say that is because most people with, let's say, under 50,000 subscribers who are leveraging a low ticket community are doing it for another reason. And that reason is to pull higher intent leads in one place. Okay. So if you have a free community and then you have a paid community, the people in the paid community are much higher, have a much higher likelihood of buying your highest product or service, your highest ticket, whatever you're selling. Okay. Because they've already purchased from you once. That means they already trust you. And that means the likelihood of them buying again, if you fulfilled on your previous product, is pretty high. Okay. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that the quality of your audience is high. Okay. You want to make sure that they have buying power. They're not broke. And you also want to make sure you have enough goodwill built up with your audience. One of the main things that a huge mistake that everyone does, I swear everyone does it, and it's like so obvious, is in their community, they make 1,000 call to actions. Every post you make in your community cannot have a call to action in it. You're going to burn the goodwill of your community. Okay. Call to actions, it needs to be something very rare. Okay. Not very rare, but, not something that you're doing every day or like every week. Maybe every other week, once or twice per month, having a post with a call to action. Because think about it, the longer you go without making a call to action, the longer the runway for your plane to take off is. Okay. And so it's a whole art. Hormozi talks about it a lot, jab, jab, left hook, I think that's what it's called. But these are the main ways I would leverage a low ticket community, depending on the size of my audience and what I'm selling. Okay. The next funnel I want to break down is the free to book in a call funnel. Specifically, if you're selling a high ticket product or service where you need to hop on sales calls to sell to people, I think this is probably the best way to go, and I'm going to show you why. And so, same as last time, you're going to be driving traffic to your Skool community. That's the same. You're providing value. I'm not going to go too deep into that. And the way you're going to make call to actions is there's an art to it. It's called 2 steps. Okay. And the reason why it's called 2 steps is because you create an asset, a lead magnet over solving a specific problem for your avatar, and you're giving that away. And you tell them to comment a specific keyword to receive that lead magnet. And there's 2 types of 2 steps. There's direct and indirect. And I'm going to show you the difference. When it comes to indirect 2 steps, this one you're going to do more frequently. Okay. Because this one, you're creating a lead magnet and you're telling them, hey, comment this keyword if you want me to send this lead magnet over to you. Okay. And so, in this example, the keyword is AISS, AI Scaling Specialist. And so whoever comments this under the post, I'm going to go ahead and message them. I'm going to send them the lead magnet and then start a conversation with them. And the point of that conversation is to book them on a call. Okay. And so what this one says is, Nick, this is an example of how you would, post the indirect 2-step post. Okay. So this is what I would post in the community to get people to comment. So for example, Nick went from $13,000 a month to $76K per month right after we implemented our AISS model for him. We created a 12-page Google Doc documenting everything we did to make this happen. Comment AISS if you want us to send the doc over to you. Okay. And so people would be commenting AISS. And like I said, everyone who comments it, you send them the asset and they start a conversation with them. That's the indirect. And basically the indirect, it's going to have more people commenting, but these people are lower intent people since they're only commenting to get the lead magnet. They're not commenting because they want to work with you. They're commenting because they want to get the free value from you. Okay. Which is fine. Which is fine. You're still nurturing, you're still providing value, but just know that these people are the most highest intent people. Okay, and I'm going to show you why. This direct 2 steps, you only want to do these, let's say, once every 2 months, because this is more of a hard ask. It's more obvious that you're trying to make money off of people, you're trying to book them on a call. And so the way this one is I kind of use the same example. So Nick went from $13,000 a month to $76K a month right after we implemented our AI Scaling Specialist model for him. We are looking to implement the same playbook for 5 more clients this month. Comment AI Scaling Specialist to claim a spot. Okay, and so that's the difference. This one, the call to action is, hey, if you want this lead magnet, comment, and I'm going to send it over to you. For this one, it's, hey, comment if you want to work with us because we only have 5 more spots left. We're looking to take on 5 more people to get the same results that we got Nick. Okay, so that's the difference. You got to be careful with the direct one, but the indirect you can do a bit more often. Okay, and so from there, the indirect one, it doesn't always have to be just a conversation. So you can also get people to opt in for a webinar. And the good thing about webinars is I talked about in my last video where I was breaking down Iman's funnel. But when you think about sales calls or your agency, basically what a sales call is, it's a one-on-one sales format. Okay, it's you selling to one other person on the call. What webinars allow you to do is to perform one-to-many sales. So you're able to sell to 30, 40, 50, 60, hundreds of people at once, okay? And this is how you become more leveraged. The same amount of time it takes you to hop on one sales call, maybe a bit longer since you have a presentation providing a bit of value, but at the end of your webinar, you make an offer and you have hundreds of people who are gonna book calls with you if you did it right. Okay, and so this is where you gotta get creative to access more leverage. And one-to-many sales is a great way to do that. And you can always just go a setter and start a conversation. Nonetheless, you're gonna hop on sales calls, whether it's one-to-one or one-to-many, and hopefully they're gonna buy from you. Okay, if what you're selling, and at the end of the day, bro, all this shit means nothing if what you're selling is shit. Okay, you need to get case studies, you need to have a good product, you need to be able to get client results, because you're just going to keep getting clients and churning them if what you're selling is dog shit. Okay, so make sure you have a good product and a good offer and you actually care about the customer experience. Okay, and so that's how that funnel works. Yeah, so this is the intent of this is to book a call, while this one was to leverage the free community to send people into the low ticket community. Okay, and this one was to get them to book a call and sell them high ticket. And so from there, let's do the math, okay? Because, I'm saying that the booking a call funnel is better than the low ticket funnel, but let me actually prove it to you, okay? And so let's compare the low ticket versus the booking a call, basically low ticket versus high ticket. Let's say you have an audience size of 5,000 people, and at the end of every video, you make a call to action to join your free Skool community. Okay, let's say 10% of people join your group, meaning that you have 500 members in your free community. Okay, so 5,000 people audience, 500 members because 10% of your audience. Okay, so you have 500 members in your free community. Now let's say you make a call to action in your community. Okay, let's say 10% of people take you up on your call to action. But what we're going to do is we're going to go down two different paths. So the first call to action is a $40 a month community upgrade. And the second call to action is for them to book a call for you to sell them on your higher ticket, service or program or whatever. Okay. And so let's compare the numbers. Let's do path one. So 10% of people, so remember there's 500 people in the community, 10% of 500 people take you up on a call to action and they buy your $40 a month community upgrade. That's $2,000 monthly recurring revenue. Okay, forget churn, forget all that stuff, $2,000 a month. Okay, not bad. Path two, let's say that 50 people book a call with you. Okay, so 10% of people took you up on a call to action. That means that 50 people booked a call. Let's say you have a 6% closing rate, which is pretty shit, especially since if you're providing a lot of value in the community and if they're consuming lots of your content, they should already be, have a good idea of what you sell. If you have lots of client testimonials, case studies, and they're consuming that, they should be pretty bought in on what you're selling. And for you to have a 6% close rate, that's pretty bad. Okay, so ideally, on average, you'd have a higher close rate, especially if you're already providing value to them. But let's just be conservative in this example and say you have a 6% close rate. So that means you're going to close 3 clients out of 50 people, which is on the low end, but just for the sake of this example. So 3 clients times a $5,000 ticket price. Like I said, if you're doing the stuff that we teach you in the AI Scaling Specialist School community, you can charge a lot more than $5,000. But once again, let's be conservative. For the sake of this video, let's say you charge $5,000. That means you can make $15,000. Okay, off of the same audience size, the same amount of members in your community, just a different way to ascend them. Okay, so instead of focusing on the little money, which is the free or the upgraded community, $40 per month. Yeah, it's easier. Yeah, you just film content once and you post it in your community. You never have to worry about it again. But you're missing out on 7.5 times more money opposed to if you would have went the high ticket route. Okay, communities are easy to run. Content value. You film it once and you post it. It's leveraged, but everyone's doing it. And so the opportunities are easier means there's more competition, meaning that's actually harder to succeed in those opportunities because more people are doing it. Opposed to the harder, more boring opportunities, there's less people doing it because the barrier of entry is higher, meaning in the end, it's probably easier to succeed and you're going to succeed faster in the harder opportunities, okay, which is this one right here. So please go to high ticket route, put in more effort, do the extra work. You're going to make way more fucking money, okay, way more money. And so the last thing I want to talk about is you need to avoid this at all costs. And I even saw Hermosi talking about it and I was like, bro, Hermosi, stop capping to the people. Stop capping to the people. Let's be real with them. Whatever you do, please, no matter who tells you it, if someone's telling you this, they just want to take your fucking money and get you to buy a course or some shit. Do not start a paid community and then run ads to it thinking people are going to join. So whether you start a paid community for flower shop or how to make money online or how to get fit and you're just running ads to it with no brand or no content backing it up whatsoever, nobody's going to join it, okay? Nobody. Okay, think about it logically. When was the last time you bought a course or a program, even like a low ticket or a monthly recurring one? When was the last time you bought it? Okay, in general. And if you did buy one, who was it from? Was it from some random dude who you just saw for the first time running ads? No. Okay, it was from one of your favorite creators or influencers, someone you've consumed content from. Content is so fucking important. And it's only getting more and more important as each day goes by. As each day goes by, the trust gets lower and lower and the importance of content gets higher and higher. Start creating content. You cannot rely on ads. Whether you're selling high ticket, low ticket, mid ticket, fucking whatever ticket, okay? Create content, build a brand. And if Hormosi's telling you to do outreach or do paid ads, but he's going crazy with content, what does that tell you? Okay? You gotta lock in and, actually think about it. And so if the paid community will be your main source of income, make sure you have a strong brand. Brand is the #1 lever on pricing power. The way you measure the strength of your brand is by seeing how much you can charge above market price for a commodity when your brand is attached to it. So think about it like this. Best example is you have a normal white tee, market price, it's a commodity, it's $5. You slap a fucking Gucci logo, fucking print Gucci sticker on there, $500. 100x price increase. And to be honest, a paid community is a white shirt. It's a commodity. Everyone has paid communities and courses and programs and all this fucking bullshit. But if your brand is a Gucci brand, okay, if it's the strength of a Gucci brand, slap Iman's brand or Tate's brand or I mean, you know, whoever's brand on there, whoever has a lot of goodwill with their audience, you can charge a lot of money and you'll make a lot of money from it. But it's all about brand, man. It's content. You have to understand content is the most important thing. Okay, content. If there's two things I would tell you to focus on in the future, it's content and AI. Lock in on these two things. Find ways to embed them, implement them into your business, your offer, your marketing, and you're gonna be successful. Content and AI. This is what's taking over. Okay, and so if I had to start from zero, so 0 subscribers and $0 and no products or whatever, with the knowledge that I have now, I would do the following. The first thing I'll do is start creating content that solves a specific problem for a specific market, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll make a call to action at the end of every video to join my free community. And in that community, I would provide even more value. And then, you know, once every other week or once a month, I'll make a call to action to book a call. Okay. And then what I would offer on that call is to solve a painful problem for them by building them an AI scaling system. And if you don't know what an AI scaling system is, it's AI tools and mechanisms packaged into an offer in a system, and you want to sell it to them to solve and scale their business, solve problems and scale their business for them. Okay, it's how we're scaling businesses. We're teaching people to do it and to implement it into their own agency and offer, and we're seeing amazing results. Okay, and so if you want to learn more about AI scaling specialists, becoming somebody who scales AI scaling systems and sells it for 9, 10, 12, even 16 grand to these other businesses to, you know, scale their business in a leveraged way by leveraging technology. Because let me tell you right now, the more oriented your solution is around technology and less oriented around people and labor and all these inefficient mechanisms, the more easier it's going to be to fulfill and make a fuck ton of money. Especially now, like right now, we're living right in the sweet spot where you can make thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for connecting a few automations and workflows for people. That's in the sweet spot we're in right now, and it's going to become more commoditized. So you got to take advantage of it quickly before too many people hop on the train. Okay. Nonetheless, it's a free community. First link in the description. You can access this document right here that I went over. I put all my documents in this community, but join it if you want to get free insights on how to separate yourself from the red ocean markets as an agency owner, because nowadays there's so many fucking people. The barrier to entry starting an agency is extremely low. So first link in the description, completely for free, and I will see you on the inside. Bye.